Hey guys, this is Dresden Wallace and I'm here in Singapore. Over here you can see Marina Bay Sands. You got the Flower Dome, where it's got the most forward-thinking, innovative way to create biodiversity within a concrete jungle such as Singapore. So what I want to talk to you guys about today is achieving an international lifestyle. Achieving a life abroad. You know, if you're looking to relocate, you might have just graduated, you might have just left college, you might have still be in school, and you've always had this idea about living abroad, being in a place that isn't your home country. It might be for several reasons. It might be the culture that you live in. It might be this thirst for adventure and for travel. And here on this page and this YouTube channel is exactly what I'm going to be teaching you about and offering you in terms of value. Finding out how you can achieve a life abroad, an international lifestyle that is going to allow you to wake up and see the things that you've seen in pictures. I highly recommend that you watch this video to the very end, because I'm going to be going deep in finding out how to create that strategy, how to create the mindset, how to devise a plan to get you to where you want to be in the next 2-3 years, 4 or 5 years, 6, 7 years. You know, I could be talking to you about where you want to be in 20 years. It doesn't really matter. But for things to happen and for you to take the right necessary steps, this is long-term strategy, right? But I am going to break down for you short-term strategy as well. I might do that in a different video. We'll see how this plays out and where my mind goes, right? Because this isn't pre-rehearsed. This is me just talking to you as and when thoughts come into my mind, right? Because that's how I like to do it, organically. I like to talk to you guys, you know, really coming from the heart. I'm really giving to you as much information as I possibly can. So yeah, enjoy it. Listen, watch it to the end. You're not going to regret it. And check out this view in the background. Yeah, let me get started. So when you're thinking about it, I know right now it feels so unrealistic, right? Let's just talk about this for a minute. It feels so out of reach. It feels so far away. Getting to where you want to be in your mind, whether it's, let's just say, let's do a long shot, right? So achieving an international career abroad with a high wage, good salary, right? That's the dream, right? You're in a place that you want to be, and you're in a salary that you love doing, and you're doing a job that you want to do, right? Those are the three sort of things, you know. That's what's going to make you super happy. And if you're an entrepreneur and that's what you want to be an entrepreneur and you want to create a business for yourself, that's great. Work towards that. Spend a lot of time doing that. But you need plan B, plan C, plan D, right? We're not just talking here about, you know, you come and buy a plane ticket and fly to another country and then you start creating your business. You can try and do that. You probably want to save some money before that for you to pay for your rent, your food, your transport, any bills that come out of nowhere that you find happens when you do travel, when you do things like this. You know, you gotta be realistic in what you're trying to achieve here, and money is a huge foundation of what you're gonna do, but it's not everything, and I'm gonna teach you guys how to get that anyway, so don't worry about it. If you're from a poor background, you've got zero money in the bank right now, or even minus in the bank right now, you're gonna want to listen to every single word that I say, which is going to allow you to create a development plan and to prioritize different features and competencies that you have. That's going to allow you to sell yourself and get any job, but we'll come on to that a bit later. So the three values, right, that you really need to be focusing on is believing in yourself, right, being comfortable with where you are right now, and devising a strategy to get to where you want to be, right? How are we going to get there? How are we going to do that? What's the first step? What's the next step? What's the steps 1 year down the line, 2 years down the line? Do you need mentors? Who's going to help you? Who's your support network going to be? How are you going to be able to save enough money to get the plane ticket to wherever it is you want to go in the whole world, right? Something I do just want to mention to you guys really quickly, which is going to be super helpful. So if you are between the age of 20 to 30, I think it is, right? You can get work and holiday visa in so many different countries around the world. So you're going to want to do some research on that. But just off the top of my head, these countries include Australia, Singapore, Taiwan, Japan, Canada, some places in Europe, and some places in South America as well. So you really do want to look into that, understand what opportunities are out there. You know, if you say that you wanna live in, I don't know, let's pick a pretty cool country. Let's say you want to live in Japan, right? Okay, well, first step is, can you live in Japan? Are you allowed to live in Japan? Is that a thing? Right? You got what visa can you go on? You need to be realistic. And actually, no, fuck that. You don't need to be realistic, right? You need to be realistic at later stages. But for right now, absolutely aim for the stars, because you might land on the moon. That's what you want. That's what you want to be thinking. You need to be thinking big. You need to be thinking huge. You hear a lot of entrepreneurs, businessmen say, "Well, if you're aiming for 1 million, why don't you change that to 10 million, right? Because you're probably going to get to 1 million. You're not going to be as attached to it as an outcome. You're not going to be thinking so much about, oh, I'm so far away from that. Shoot, aim freaking high. Higher than the sky. That's what you need to be doing, right? And you want to get a taste for. Secondly, you want to get a taste for, is this lifestyle for you, right? Can you survive on your own? Or, whether it's you want to go with somebody or a group, but it does make it a lot harder when that is your plan, that's your strategy, because people are unreliable, people are unpredictable, people have different paths and ways of life that they are going to choose to go down, and for the chances of them to align exactly with yours are very slim. Especially the more people you have, the more people you rely on. Let's just say, we've all been in a situation where you've put together a plan or a holiday and someone's dropped out, the next person's dropped out, and it didn't end up happening, or it wasn't what you expected it to be, or you've traveled with somebody, right, and you realize you don't actually like traveling with that person, so you need to trial and error is a big part of what you're going to be doing on this journey with me here, right? What you're going to be doing is trying different things. You're going to be trying different careers. You're not going to pigeonhole yourself, right? This is something that I think is one of the key cornerstones of being able to create a life for yourself that you have dreamed of. A life that when you watch the movies and these action adventure movies and you see all these people living these amazing lifestyles and you want to be that, well, you're going to get that, but you need to abide by a couple of steps and a couple of ways of thinking that I'm going to teach you, so don't worry. And one of these is, do not pigeonhole yourself. Right? I'm going to repeat this because it's really, really important. Number one, do not pigeonhole yourself. Now, what do I mean by that? What is pigeonhole? What does pigeonhole even mean? Well, it's a little hole in a box, right? So what I mean by this is, if you put yourself into a box, right, you're gonna either get stuck in it, you're either not gonna fit in it, you're not gonna be happy in a confined space, right? Unless from I haven't had this feeling, so you might want to watch something on finding your purpose. But it's more than that, because I am talking about finding your purpose. I'll give you the steps and the plan to find your purpose. But it's when you're really young and you just know what it is you should be doing in life, right? That feeling. I think it's very rare. Not everybody has it. Some people do, and they just know what they were put on this earth to do. Or the thing is, though, I don't know how true that is, because if it is, you think that you're supposed to be put on this earth to do something and it doesn't work out, then that might not be naturally your skill set, and it's just something that you saw on TV that you thought would be pretty cool to try out and it didn't work out. So I think there are cases where that does happen, but in the grand scheme of things, nobody knows what they want to be doing. So really, listen to me right now. Do not worry about not knowing where you want to be right now. Just it's a non-topic. It doesn't matter. It really, really doesn't matter. So if you start putting pressure on yourself, or your parents putting pressure on you about knowing where you should be and what you should be doing, it doesn't matter. But I'll tell you what does matter, right? And it's to do with taking steps back and then taking steps forward. Which steps are you going to take to get you to where you want to be? Ideally, you want to be moving forwards all the time, right? You want to be growing. You want to be building financially, socially, skill set wise. You want to grow. You don't want to be stagnant. One of the biggest common traits of failure, not necessarily failure, but people that are just in a space in their life where they feel like they haven't achieved anything. It's because they haven't moved forwards. They've just stood still. Just like this, right? Just standing still. They're not walking forwards. They're not challenging themselves in ways that's making them having to adapt to different situations, that's making them have to achieve something or step out of their comfort zones. These are all really, really important things that you have to get comfortable with doing, okay? So taking steps forward and taking steps back. Let me find the shot again. There we go. Who are you gonna be? If you're 20 years old right now and you're watching this, you're 18 years old right now and you're watching this, you have your whole life ahead of you, right? And you can choose to start taking these steps now, which will be the best decision in your whole life, or you can choose to be stagnant and to go out partying all the time, which is fine. Do that a lot, especially when you're 18, 19, 20. But be hustling on the side, be working, taking steps towards the future, whether it's going and getting a degree, whether it's building a skill set in a certain job or a trade. Just be moving forwards, be building your bank balance. Don't keep going broke, you know. Go broke a couple times or once and realize, oh damn, this sucks, I should probably not do this. So think about that. Think about what steps you're going to take. And then if you're in later stages in your life, whether it's in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 100s, whatever it is, I don't know what age ranges are going to be watching this video, but yeah, for everybody, whatever age you are, you can take a step forward right now. You can, whatever it is, no matter how small it is, no matter how small and insignificant it might feel right now, these small steps do add up. These small steps that you take, they make the bigger picture. That's what they do. It's not just one giant leap, right? There's probably comes a time where you have to take a leap, take a risk, take a bigger step, right? But they all come off the back of these small steps. These small steps that you take build you, build who you are, build your experience, build your resume, build your skill set, build your experience, make you an interesting person, build you, who you are, right? I don't want to get into a conversation Eckhart Tolle style about what is you in the present and the moment and things like that. That's another topic for another day. But let's just say right now, that's what builds you, the steps that you take in your life. When you wake up in the morning 10 years down the line, where are you going to be? What are you going to be doing? Well, you can pretty much say right now where that is. You're either going to be right where you are. Nothing's going to change because you haven't changed. You haven't done anything. You haven't taken any steps forwards. Or you might even be in a worse situation. Say you're an alcoholic, or you're a gambler, or you're a drug addict. Any of these things are going to be steps back, I guarantee you. But if that's the situation you're in right now, start taking steps forwards. Get out of that. Get out of that situation. I know it's easier said than done. That's why I'm going to provide for you all a plan. And the reason why I'm giving you these different scenarios is because I'm just saying these core principles that I'm talking about are for everybody. They're for everyone that can apply to these principles to their life, right? So going back to pigeonholing yourself, what I truly mean by this is don't put yourself in a box. And let me just give you a really good example. I'm going to talk about getting a degree, right? This is something I'm very familiar with. Recently got one. So, you know, I've got a very clear mindset on what it really means to get a degree, what it does for you in your life, what it doesn't do for you in your life. Any questions you guys have for me on this, just shoot me a message. Follow me on LinkedIn. I do a lot of things on degrees and jobs on that. So it's just Dresden Wallace. Type it in, you'll find me. And what I see is the biggest mistake, that it's not necessarily your fault. It might be pressure from parents, pressure from you know, the government, or pressure from just in your situation right now. You have to go and get that degree. You choose something that, you know, you don't really even know what it is. You just choose it, whatever. Sounds cool. Sounds cool. Let's go with that. Right? That's fine. That's fine. You choose a university at random. You probably don't even go and do a visit. Right? You probably don't even know where it is. All you do You're very organized. You know exactly what university you want to do and what you want to study. But it doesn't go any further than that. And this is a huge sticking point that I could probably do an hour video on. So I'll come back to that. But for right now, I'm talking about the principles of not pigeonholing yourself into a box. And I think ultimately you probably will do that. And that's fine. So let's say, for example, you go study history at a university in America. Whatever university, let's just take Ohio, Columbus, for example. I'm not even sure what university is there, but I'm sure there is one. And you choose to study at that university and you study history, right? And you're not thinking about the steps ahead that what jobs that's going to give you down the line, what skills is that going to give you, what competencies, how's that going to prepare you, what do you want to become? The reason I say history, you know, there is a big difference between studying a STEM subject, science, technology, engineering, and maths, and studying a humanities subject, and studying, you know, like English, history, geography, and then there's a big difference between studying a sports degree, and then obviously you have your more specialized, whether it's pharmacy, business that is a separate category, but the thing with business is so broad. Same with marketing, and these are some of the most competitive jobs, but it is a fact that you are more likely to be employed doing a STEM job than it is a humanities job. That's true, right? There are statistics on these things, and the reason for that is because we need these people in the workforce. We need people building things. We need people doing experiments. We need people working in businesses and running these big corporate functions. You know, we need people doing these things. And same with technology. That's where the world's going right now. So we need people advancing ourselves into robotics and AI and all of these different blockchain methods that are gonna completely transform our workplace. And you see it happening now. Transport, electric cars, you know, all of these things, it all comes under engineering, technology, science, maths. So these are the core principles that the foundations of the skill sets that you need for these jobs. So really think about this. If you haven't applied to university yet, then it's great that you're watching this video. If you have, you've already gone through the university system, you can probably relate to me in what you're thinking. And you might have been someone that studied a STEM subject like, oh, Dresden, I still can't get a job in what I'm doing. Okay, well, I can probably easily fix that for you, I think. If you've already done one of those degrees and you've got a pretty decent degree from a good institution, then it's just going to be your competencies, your soft skills that are going to be the issue, your belief in yourself, the way that you sell yourself. There's going to be problems there that I'll easily be able to fix. But for those of you that have studied humanities and other subjects like that, or if you're in a trade right now, you haven't gone to university, it's still relatable. You might be thinking, well, Dresden, yeah, you're right, I haven't got a job, or I've got an amazing job, Dresden. What are you talking about? I'm a journalist at this top firm. I've done, I'm working for this huge company right now because I did this at Oxbridge or whatever it is. It will depend on what university you go to as well. This does come into play, but it only gets you so far. Again, it comes into your soft skills, your personality, what you're able to achieve in your life. A lot of it comes down to your people skills, your ability to handle situations, stress, your emotional responses to things, how interesting you are. Do you volunteer? What do you do outside of school? All of these things are factors that I'm going to be breaking down for you step by step to help you achieve the life of your dreams, right? I'm not just talking about international career. If you want to work down the road in a business, and they've rejected you, you'll be able to get in. You just need to be shown the way. You need to be shown how to get in. What are they looking for? What do they need? How can you sell yourself to show to people that you are needed? You are somebody that you're going to be useful. Or just on a lower level side of things, which you realize how important this actually is when you get into business and you get into working, you start earning a salary. It's just being pleasant to be around, just being a nice person, just being somebody that people want to be around you, and people want to be doing things with you. It's a huge factor, and people are going to hire you for those things. People are going to hire you because they want you for you to be hanging around with them, for you to be their friend. And it is really true. You realize how far it goes in terms of teamwork, leadership, communication skills. These are all such core skills that you need to be able to understand and show your employer, or whoever you want to be an entrepreneur. You're gonna at some point need to hire people, and it all comes into it. You read Jeff Bezos' Age of Amazon, right? You can just tell that he was basically a massive arsehole all the way up until he realized, well, actually I should probably I have to create this corporate business now, so there needs to be some diversity plans. There needs to be ways that our company is making sure that our employees are happy, because happy employees is going to be better for business, right? But he was just so determined, so focused. They say this a lot about Facebook, Google, in that internet boom, .com boom, where all these big businesses, tech businesses came out. All of these CEOs were hard asses. They were so driven, because you can imagine the amount of sticking points that they had to go through to get to where they are. Fail, like trial and error. It's what I was talking to you about at the beginning of the video. It's so crucial, and there's so much that comes into play, and trial and error. What works, what doesn't work. Okay, shit, this was a big failure, but I'm going to learn from this. Moving forwards, what can I adopt? What can I adapt? How can I do better next time? So these guys had grit. And you'll see that there's books on this. There's a book called Grit. I'm not sure, I can't remember who writes it, who the author is. But these books, you want to be reading these books. You want to be learning from these people that you talk about core human competencies that get you through tough situations. And let's go back to the situation that you're in right now. You might not be happy, you might not be comfortable with where you are, but I beg of you right now to come from a mind frame of, this job is working, this job is where I need to be right now, because I'm broke. I need money, right? Or you're not even broke. You might be on your way to saving up some funds, right? But you need it right now to get you to where you want to be. So don't hate on it every day. Don't let it make you unhappy and depressed, right? Because it's a stepping stone, and it's going to say, for example, you have to do that for the next 2 years, right? Whilst you do your side hustle, whilst you follow my program and do things that is going to allow you to, even in the short term, within a couple of weeks, you'll see such a huge turnaround in your attitude and your personal skills, and you'll start to realize, wow, coming from a mind frame, coming from a mind frame of, this is my life right now. Find the happiness in your day. It's all about perception. Some people are the happiest people in the world. So this is off the back of reading Mihai Csikszentmihalyi. He's a Hungarian psychologist, and he wrote the book Flow, The Psychology of Happiness. And he talks about all these stories of people. Some of the happiest people in the world are welders, farmers, people that are connected to the landscape, people that are skilled, right? They're skilled in doing what they're doing. They're challenged each day, and they've set up rituals and habits in their life. So each day they're doing these things. So they pretty much live the same day each day, which I don't think I would necessarily be too happy with, because I love change. I love adapting to new situations. But that's the thing, what I'm saying is perception. So they see themselves as adapting to a new situation, because they're cutting a new crop, or as a new season's come in and they're dealing with different animals, or they're welding, there's a new project on this, all these different things that happen, right? And it's just an incredible, definitely go read this book. So it's Flow by Mihai Csikszentmihalyi. Go read that, go buy that, and it will help you to be content with where you are right now. Okay, so right, moving forward, so you're content with where you are right now, and you want to get a plan, you want to get a strategy to get you to where you need to be and achieve a life of happiness, and achieve a life that you feel like you might be destined for, you feel like you might be able to achieve. Well, let's talk about strategy. How are we gonna get there? What's the first step? Well, the first step, you need to figure out where you want to go, right? Figure out what country it is. Don't limit it. Don't limit it to one thing. You want to right now be doing a broad sweep, right? But the way that you figure these things out, say for example right now, you have no idea where you want to go, where you want to be. Traveling is a great way to really achieve finding out where you want to go. So one of the ways that I realized I wanted to be in Asia is because I lived in China for 6 months, and I was like, oh shit, I actually really enjoyed this. I was learning Mandarin, and I love the culture, love the food, love the people, and I felt there's amazing opportunity and exposure in Asia right now. So these are a couple of the reasons why I wanted to move to Singapore and to work out here in Singapore. So what's your why? I think this is again another book written by I'm not sure of the author. I haven't actually read it myself. I think it's Simon somebody, but the book's called Why, or Your Reason Why. Again, go buy this book, go read this book, and what it's going to do is it's going to teach you about purpose and teach you about how to find your reason why. For me, traveling was for a huge building block in understanding my why, right? And then meeting people and finding out, in your social group or in your people that you speak to day to day, they'll have a job and they'll be doing something, and the same with your teachers or whoever it is, and they might be doing something cool. Ask them about it. Ask them about how it is, what they do, how it is they got there. Or you might not know anybody, and everyone around you is exactly the opposite of where you want to be. Okay, well then you need to get your head down. You need to be studying or moving towards a degree, building a skill set. You need to be taking steps, building your own business, all of these different things, building up your funds so you can move away from that group, move away from that environment. For me, it took me 7 years in total, I would say. I started from the age of 16 really thinking about, wow, I want to do something with my life. I want to achieve something great. I want to inspire people. I want to, I started building up my why, started building up my reason why. And all of these things led me to this absolutely incredible array of experiences, which I'll save stories for another time. But it's find your reason why. Start making change. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Do things out of your comfort zone, right? Okay, so don't pigeonhole yourself. Don't put yourself in a box. And we're talking about broad sweeps here, right? Start to think about what it is that you as a person like and enjoy. Where you might be studying something right now. Let's say it's geography. Something has guided you towards that subject. Something has guided you towards that. Something in there interests you. What's your interests? What do you like doing? Is it nature? Is it environmental? So my degree, I actually have a degree in environmental science, but now I'm an international project manager. See what I'm talking about when I say don't put yourself in a box, don't pigeonhole yourself. And something that you'll start to understand in life, and I don't care if you're 60 years old right now, 40 years old, or 20 or 18, 30, whatever it is, you have done probably, I can count on 2 hands, right? My other hand's on the phone right now, so I can't show you that one, but I guarantee you've probably done a handful of different careers, right? A handful of different jobs. You might have even had one job and stuck with it your whole life, and there's an issue there. Do you know why? It's because you don't know what's out there. You don't know what's out there in this world. There's scuba diving instructors. There's people that go on boats and clean the bottom of boats for money. There's people that, make money out of making videos. There's people making money out of being fitness instructors. There's these huge business people, and the amount of roles, say in a huge corporation, right, 275,000 people, where they make something like 80 billion plus a year, the big players in the FTSE 100, the amount of roles and positions that are in these companies is outrageous. There's so many, and you won't even know what half of them are. Actually, you won't know what 90% of them are. You'll know general functions like marketing, advertising, HR. Those are a couple of functions, right? There's millions. Actually, I wouldn't go as far as millions, but there's a ton of things that you need to start learning about, reading articles. What does this guy do? What does this CEO do? What's his job role? How does he do what he does? What did he do to get there? So I'll give you a really good practical tip right now, because I don't want you to be watching this video taking away these broad values and ways of doing things without getting to take away something that you can do right now, right? And that is reverse engineering your life, right? And basically something that you can do right now is go on LinkedIn, type in the name of an industry or a job or something, and you'll find people that are doing that job, and they will have said what degree they read, what jobs they've had, what positions they've taken, where they've volunteered, you know, what countries they've lived in. And by doing this, right, you're gonna get a very clear idea, like, are you on the right path? Are you doing those things? You know, where is it that where you are going in your life, and what direction? And how can you change that path? How can you be doing those things? Something that's actually, I'll give you an example. Something, when I did this practice, right, I did this this task, and I realized, wow, because I always had it in my head that, you know, I was you know, studying environmental science. I wanted to be doing something that's going to save the planet ultimately, right? And I will do something that will be a huge contribution to that at some point in my life. It doesn't need to be right now. I'm taking a different path of how I'm going to get there, but that's ultimately what I'm aiming towards, right? I'm aiming towards, you know, anything to do with improving the way that people live on this planet, right, in an environmentally friendly way. And something I thought straight away, by doing that, I'm going to have to be a conservationist. I'm going to have to go and work in a zoo. I'm going to have to go and, you know, do something that is tangibly right now like a ranger or something in a park. No, that's not. These are just things that come to mind. But the environment and that industry is huge. It's absolutely massive. It's absolutely huge. There's so many different roles that you can be playing that are going to contribute to the broader scheme of whether it's, you know, preventing global warming, climate change, and these things, right? And that's just one example that I want to give you, right? Okay. There are so many different things that you can be doing, and if you just want to, like, you want to work for a business, that's such a broad base level way to be thinking where you are. So go and do this task right now, okay? Whether you want to be a painter, a photographer, you want to be a CEO, or you want to be somebody that just makes people happy day to day, you want to be a nurse, you want to be a doctor, you want to be, you know, well, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what the salary is. It doesn't matter if you don't even get paid. As long as somehow you can survive, you pitch up a tent and they provide your food, okay, fine. Whatever floats your boat, whatever you're into. But go and do that on LinkedIn, okay? If you don't have a LinkedIn account, type in LinkedIn and go set up an account. You're going to want to be doing this. This is where the world's moving. The CV is not dead just yet, but it will be. It will be very soon. Right? The world is moving forwards at such an insane pace, lightning fast, and what you need to be doing is figuring out how you can keep up with these changes, right? How you can keep up. What are you going to do? Don't do something that's outdated. You know, everything's been done before as well, so you need to kind of find your niche and what it is you like to do. But yeah, think broadly, think big, aim high, and create something for yourself, you know, and start taking these steps forwards. Once you've done this reverse engineering practice, I guarantee you're going to have a clear, and spend hours doing it. I'm not talking about just go and do one person. Go and you know, look up one person. Go and look up, I'm going to say your target, right, is to look up 20 different people. Whether it's the exact same role it is you're looking at, right, or whether it's a vast sweep of different roles, you'll probably find out more about your industry or your interest by looking at what roles these people have. Just type in photography, just type in you know, engineer, type in, let's start with the broad, type in businessman, CEO, CFO, race car driver, whatever it is you're into, whatever it is you want to do, whatever subject it is, historian, government position, transport coordinator, whatever it is, figure it out and start looking at where these people be. If you know you want to live in Australia, if you know you want to live in America, find somebody that's doing a position that is actually, do you know how many people that are from, you know, so I'm from the UK, right? How many people that are in America right now doing a job that I don't even know what it is, but they've somehow managed to get over there and they've got a green card or whatever it is. Or there's people in Australia that have done a visa for a year and they've been kept on by their business. I don't know what that business is, I don't know how they've done it, but I know how to find out. And then I know how to take these ideas and apply them to myself and achieve that and do that. And it's what I'm going to show to you guys. It's what I'm going to help you guys achieve, a strategy that you can apply to achieve an international lifestyle. To achieve not just an international lifestyle, but get any job that you want, create a career, create a lifestyle where you're just earning enough money, but you're in the happiest job that you've ever been in your whole entire life. That's what I want you guys to, that's the level I want you guys to be thinking at. I want you guys to know that there is ways that you can get out of the situation you're in. I'm living proof of that, right? It wasn't so long ago I was just living in the supermarket and just working there, just constantly just doing a monotonous job that I didn't want to do. Not saying that there's anything wrong with working in the supermarket. I'm so grateful for having that job and that position, because it got to me. It was a stepping stone of mine that I took to get me to where I need to be. Now I'm here right now in Singapore, got the Marina Bay Sands behind me, one of the most incredible buildings ever built, £8 billion investment. And then we have the Flowers Dome, you've got the Singapore Flyer, you've got the business district, there's all of these different things. And people are just exercising here right now, people are so happy, it's unbelievable. It's actually getting quite dark now, so I'm getting quite hungry. And it's where I want to be at right now, and I'm so happy and grateful for it, that I just said to myself when I was 16 years old, Dresden, wake the hell up right now, okay? I knew if I wasn't taking steps in the right direction, I wasn't going to be where I was. So I made it my mission to find out what those steps are, and I took them. Right? So I'm not saying that this is going to be easy. You're going to have to take action. You're going to have to just lean in. Right? After you watch this video, I want you to lean in and think about what it is you want. Right? And then I'm going to be releasing a ton of great content for you guys. Okay? A ton of great content for you to be watching, for you to be doing certain tasks, for you to be building and applying to your own life. Those are the takeaways that I want you to be getting from this. But believe in yourself, believe in your possibilities, because you're gonna get there, I guarantee you it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. For now, this is all I'm gonna give you in terms of information. No, I'm joking. There's gonna be tons of videos that's gonna be coming out, which are just completely free for you guys to watch. So whether you want to sign up for the program or you don't, that's absolutely fine. Enjoy the content, take as much away from it as you possibly can, and apply it to your life. Let's create something legendary. Let's do something incredible. This life's too short to just watch it pass by. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. This is Dresden Wallace here in Singapore, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.